It is 2:13 in the morning. You are warm, comfortable, and finally about to fall asleep. Then your brain opens a file you never asked to see. 8 years ago, someone introduced themselves to you as Alex. 10 seconds later, you called them Alan. They corrected you. You apologized, nodded confidently, and called them Alexis. You can still see their face. You can still hear the silence that followed. And for some reason, your brain has restored the entire disaster in perfect high definition. You pulled a blanket over your head. Why? You forgot where you left your keys this morning. You forgot the password you created yesterday. You may have forgotten why you walked into a room while you were still standing inside it. But that embarrassing moment? Your brain saved 3 copies. And it is not doing this because it hates you. It is doing this because a very long time ago, embarrassment could help keep you alive. Imagine that you live in a small group thousands of years before cities, police, supermarkets, or hospitals. Almost everything you need comes from the people around you. They help you find food, protect you from danger, care for you when you are injured, and keep watch while you sleep. Being accepted is not just pleasant, it is survival. Now imagine making a mistake in front of that group. You take food that was meant to be shared, you insult the wrong person, you ignore a warning and lead everyone toward danger. A broken social rule could damage your reputation, and a damaged reputation could mean less trust, less help, or, at the extreme, being pushed away from the group. So the human brain became extremely interested in one question: did I just do something that could make people reject me? Embarrassment is one of its alarms. Your face becomes warm, your eyes look away, your posture shrinks. You may smile awkwardly, touch your face, or suddenly become fascinated by the floor. None of this feels useful, but to everyone watching, those signals can communicate something important. I know I made a mistake. I care what you think. I understand the rules. In experiments, people who showed embarrassment were often judged as more pro-social and more trustworthy than people who reacted with pride or no visible concern. In other words, the reaction you desperately want to hide may actually help repair the social damage. Your embarrassment is not proof that you are socially broken. It may be proof that your social system is working. But this still does not explain why the memory returns years later, usually when you are trying to sleep. For that, we need to visit the least relaxing office in your brain, the Department of Important Mistakes. Most ordinary moments never make it through the front door. The sandwich you ate on a random Tuesday, the fourth car you passed on your way home, or the exact position of every cup in your kitchen probably disappears into a large mental bin marked "not useful." An emotional event is different. Emotion tells your brain that something matters, and when an event threatens your place in the group, your brain pays attention. It saves the faces, it saves the silence. It saves the exact moment you realized what you had done. Then you help it. You replay the scene, you imagine what everyone thought, you create a better response you should have given. You create another response that would have been even better. Then, for reasons known only to your brain, you imagine the entire event again from the perspective of a person who probably forgot it before lunch. Each replay gives the memory another rehearsal. Rumination can keep negative events feeling emotionally close, even when they happened years ago. So the memory does not survive only because it was embarrassing. It survives because embarrassment persuaded you to practice it. And your brain is not an impartial archivist. It does not give every memory equal shelf space. The ordinary compliment you received that afternoon may vanish by dinner, but the strange look someone gave you after you said something awkward can receive its own folder, security guard, and 24-hour surveillance. This is partly because negative experiences can carry useful information about danger. A brain designed to learn from threats could not afford to say, "That was unpleasant. Let us immediately delete it." It had to remember what happened, what caused it, and how to avoid repeating it. That system makes sense when the lesson is, do not approach the animal with enormous teeth. It becomes slightly less impressive when the lesson is, never say "you too" after a waiter tells you to enjoy your meal. But your brain does not always distinguish between physical danger and social discomfort as neatly as you would like. Both can activate a state of alert. Both can become linked to faces, places, and sensations. And both can return later when your mind is quiet enough to notice them. This is why the memory often waits until bedtime. During the day, your attention is occupied. At night, the meeting in your head has fewer agenda items, so someone from the Department of Important Mistakes raises a hand. Before everyone leaves, can we discuss Alan? His name was Alex. Exactly. The investigation continues. The silence of the night did not create the memory. It merely removed the competition. No messages, no conversations, no useful task demanding your attention. Just you, the ceiling, and a social mistake old enough to attend school. Your brain finally has the stage, and unfortunately it brought slides. There's another trick making the scene feel larger than it was. Psychologists call it the spotlight effect, our tendency to overestimate how much other people notice our appearance and behavior. In a famous experiment, students were asked to enter a room wearing an embarrassing t-shirt. The students expected far more people to remember the shirt than actually did. The reason is simple. You experience your mistake from the center of the stage. You feel the heat in your face. You hear the change in your voice. You know exactly what you intended to do and how badly it went. But everyone else experiences it as a few seconds in a day already filled with their own problems. While you are thinking, they will remember this forever, they may be thinking, did I lock my car? And there is an excellent chance that the people who witnessed your embarrassing moment were too busy worrying about their own embarrassing moments to preserve yours. This creates a strange imbalance. You are the historian of your own humiliation. Everyone else was merely passing through. Of course, knowing this does not always stop the memory. Sometimes trying to force a thought away can make you monitor your mind for the very thought you are trying to avoid. Do not think about it quietly becomes, am I thinking about it? And now you are thinking about it. So when the old scene returns, fighting it like an emergency can accidentally give it more importance. A more useful response is to recognize what the memory is trying to do. It is not predicting the future. It is not announcing that everyone secretly hates you. It is an old social alarm presenting evidence from a case that has been closed for years. You can even ask a simple question. What is the most embarrassing thing another person did 8 years ago? You probably cannot think of one. And that is the point. The event that still makes you hide under a blanket may no longer exist anywhere except inside your own head. The people were not studying you as closely as you imagined. The mistake probably did not define you. And the fact that you cringe at your past behavior may simply mean that you have changed since then. Your brain kept the memory because belonging mattered. It replayed the memory because it wanted you to learn. And it exaggerated the audience because from the center of your own life, every spotlight appears to be pointing at you. So tonight, when your brain opens that file again, do not panic. Thank it for the ancient warning. Remind it that the tribe did not abandon you. Close the file. Turn off the imaginary projector. And try to sleep. At least until your brain remembers the time you spent 3 minutes explaining a joke to someone who had heard it perfectly. They simply had not laughed.